His story reads like Carl Fredrickson's. You know, the old guy from that movie Up. Trevor and his wife Linda dreamed of traveling and exploring places, obscure yet exotic in their own way. First stop after retirement was going to be Slab City, the last free place in America. Though not as ambitious as Carl and Ellie's South American excursion, it was something they would do together, and that's all that mattered. But like Carl's Ellie, Trevor's wife also passed away, leaving him alone to unenthusiastically move through the rest of his seemingly purposeless existence without her.
Some people have years to prepare for this. Me, I had one night. We had dinner as usual, watched the game on TV together. Well, I watched. She slept on the couch. She was really tired that night, but we didn't think anything of it. No real explanation exists for what happened to my Linda. SUDS, sudden unexpected death syndrome, is all they could conclude. Time heals? That's something else they say. Who are they anyway? And how the hell did they know? Because it doesn't. 20 years haven't healed a damn thing. 20 years later, I miss her like I did the morning I woke up, and she didn't. What helps a little though, or at least distracts me every year, is snowbird season. People coming and going. I always manage to see just a little bit of her in at least one person every year. Under that exterior, I could tell Sophie had Linda's adventurous spirit and that same twinkle in her eye when I finally managed to make her smile her last day at the Slabs. When she first set up camp, I thought there was no way a little snot-nosed kid would last a season out here. But for a month, day in and day out, she proved me and everybody else wrong. Still, she just didn't seem to blend in here. I had to know her story, so I finally asked her.
Not sure why he wanted to know Trevor Freud, if that is his real name. But what did I care? I didn't have anything to lose, so I told him. I already made up my mind to leave the next day, probably wasn't going to see him again, or anyone out here for that matter, so why not? Pretty boring story if you ask me. No major foster kid drama, no abuse, or moving to different homes, not a runaway either. My parents went to prison when I was 8. I lived with the same family for 10 years, made straight A's, and stayed out of trouble. They didn't adopt me for whatever reason. When most kids my age were probably hanging out with their friends, I worked a part-time job afternoons and weekends, and spent evenings taking life skills classes I could get paid to take. Since I had no real friends to speak of, plus being small for my age and wise beyond my years made me more of a target for bullies than anybody's real friend. Here I am. Guess it all just kind of hit me when I turned 18. Where did my clean record and 4.0 GPA really get me? But I've never been the type to freak out. So I just did some research, got some info, and decided to check this place out. Took all the money I'd saved from work and classes, bought a car and a month's supply of food and stuff. Happy 18th birthday to me, right? Figure if I had lasted that long out here, college should be easy. Maybe I'd think about it. Plus, for the first time in 10 years, I was close enough and old enough to visit my parents.
Not exactly what I expected. Thought she might be in some kind of trouble, but no. And I had no reason to suspect her of lying to me. So I turned my attention to another wannabe slabber. He just seemed out of place from the moment I saw him. Unlike Sophie, nothing about him reminded me of Linda. He actually reminded me of myself. Tormented.
I have to think of something fast. There's no way I can admit to anybody that I abandoned my family at an airport. Finally tired of the thankless existence as a husband and father. Man, that even sounds selfish thinking of it. Okay, so it was childish, immature, whatever. But you try working day in and day out, 60, 80, even 100 hours a week, for not so much as a thank you from your self-centered wife, yet you were guilty to marrying because she was knocked up with a kid, who up until yesterday you thought was very wrong. Yeah, you do that. 10 freaking years, and you tell me you'll stick it on a damn plane and take another fake-ass family vacation that you're paying for? I mean, they're good for about 2 weeks, right? She has her precious credit cards. It's not like I got any "where are you" text or whatever. I'm sure they're having a good mommy-daughter day at the spa. Hope you enjoy this. This is the last one on me.
This is the final boarding call for passenger Jordan Potter, booked on Flight 621 to San Diego. Please proceed to the gate immediately. The final checks are being completed, and the captain will order for the doors of the aircraft to close in approximately 5 minutes. I repeat, this is the final boarding call for Jordan Potter. Thank you.
So why am I here? Well, I grew up in the slabs. Not all my life. Just a few years my parents fell into some hard times. Lost everything but our RV. So we moved into it and drove out of here. I can't believe old Freud is still out here. Trevor Roger Freud. At least that's what he told me his name was. He got here just when we were finally about to leave. Always had some good candy and good advice for his kids.
And just like that, another season's over. Made a new friend. Tough kid. She's gonna make it. And ran into an old one. He turned out alright. Had some fun with them, and will definitely cherish the times we spent together. Even though last night's a bit of a blur. Kind of like our prom picture.
Trevor is pleased to have helped two seemingly lost souls find their way. However, he realizes that Sophie and JP have also helped him just as much as, if not more than, he actually helped them. He now returns to his less lonely existence until next season. Wanting to know more than the little she had been told about her father over the past 10 years, Sophie pays him a visit before finally deciding to face her fear of real life on her own. And JP, well within his rights to keep his own family feud going, decides to give happiness another try, starting with a simple phone call.
Searching, I spend my minutes searching.
Brother, your phone's ringing.
Anne Frank once said, "The best remedy for those who are afraid, lonely, or unhappy is to go outside, somewhere where they can be quiet, alone with the heavens, nature, and God, because only then does one feel that all is as it should be."
A little old-fashioned, still believe in a human connection. direction. We're in orbit, every single one of us is